every game that had zombies in it. So World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4, Call of Duty Vanguard, Call of Duty World War 2, Infinite Warfare, and Advanced Warfare. And it also includes remakes, reimagines, remasters, and submaps. So that means we're going to see the original World at War maps at least 4 to 5 times. Oh, 6 if you count the Nacht being in transit. But we're going to start off with Nacht der Untoten, the World at War version, of course. And it's going at A. Now, I know, again, the map's been remastered and reimagined and remade a billion times. But I don't care. See it keep getting remade and remastered. Especially in the World at War, especially in the Modern Warfare engine, the IW 8.0 engine. I keep forgetting what it's called. Next up, we have Verruckt, or Verruckt. I used to pronounce it Verruckt back in the day, but now I pronounce it Verruckt, which means crazy in German. But Verruckt is gonna be going in S tier. Okay, so it's been a couple days since that last little segment, hence why there was like a really abrupt cut. I had to stop when I was recording that to do something, and I kind of just forgot. So it's been a couple days, and I'm just gonna have to refresh what I said my reasoning is behind Verruckt at S tier. So the reason why Verruckt is S tier is because it brought what we've known to do in the start of a zombies game, turning on power, grabbing perks, and training the zombies for points to get said perks and to open the doors and to get to power. Along with that, the reason why Verruckt is at S tier is because it was the first map to bring said perks and to bring the thing that we've known to do since then, to turn on power. The first basic objective in a zombies game mode, bringing in the creepy aspect and the sense of loneliness and the sense of claustrophobic spaces, and it just makes you feel claustrophobic playing the map with how the zombies are a lot crazier. Hence Verruckt means crazy. You're in this creepy asylum. There's fog. There's like not distance, because you can actually hear them pretty loud, but cries of pain, suffering, screams. Alright, Verruckt deserves to be at S tier because of the ambience, just how the map feels and what the map finally brought to the zombies. Formula, perks, and turning on the power. Next up, we have Shino Nuna. Now, Shino Nuna is where the story kind of starts off and where we get introduced to our gang of 4 characters that we know and love. We got Shino Nuna. It's where we got our first characters. We got Nikolai, Dempsey, Takio, and then we got Verruckt. Shino Nuna is going in A. It's not going in S because Verruckt, I think, still captures this sense of like loneliness and claustrophobicness, if that's a word. But Shino Nuna was still a pretty good map. Again, the original 4 maps are probably going to be in the A and S tier. Speaking of S tier, Darius, or Darisa, means the giant, goes S tier. Again, I said this previously, but this is where the story actually takes place. This is where you start learning more. This is where, basically, where it all happened, where the epicenter of what happened. They actually never, I don't think they ever state in the original storyline for World at War where the zombie outbreak specifically took. They don't go out and say where it happened, because you would think it would happen where Nacht der Untoten would happen. But you read in the storyline through pages and wherever that Darisa is actually where it happened. This is where Verruckt and Dr. Maxis, this is where he was doing his research into what happened, and well, what started it, and what Verruckt was designing, and what they were doing during 1945, and that all type of stuff. It's a really cool map in terms of storyline. It's another one of those creepy maps. And I just absolutely love it. I love Darius, or Darisa, however you want to pronounce it. And it really captures the kind of scariness and type of thing. It kind of captures all of the shady and disgusting and terrifying things the Nazis were doing in real life in 1945. Not saying that they were actually designing a super soldier and trying to, you know, resurrect the dead. That's not what I'm saying. But Der Riese and the story behind it kind of captures what the Nazis were doing and what they could have done. I would really like to see the Der Riese storyline kind of make a return. I kind of want to see it established more. I would love to see Activision and Treyarch go out of their way to try and make a zombies movie. I know there for a while we heard the rumors about a 115. That was like the zombies title of the movie. You guys remember that when rumors were going around that there was a zombies movie coming out and it was called 115 and it was about the original storyline? You guys remember those leaks? Or rumors, I guess. That was pretty cool. I really hope a zombies movie comes out and it's a really high production value. It's really good. I hope they make. I guess what they could do is literally get. I'm talking live action. I'm not talking like CGI and stuff. I would love for them to make a movie. I mean, I guess they could do it CGI. They could just tell it in the. They could use the Modern Warfare engine and just use cinematics of telling the storyline through a live action or a cinematic movie using the Modern Warfare's engine, just telling the story like a release like episodes, like 2-hour episodes, like 2 every month or something, explaining the storyline of World at War in the Modern Warfare engine cinematics. That would be so fucking cool. Especially with the Der Riese massacre. I really want to see that elaborated on. I know a custom zombies mapper in Black Ops 3 for Der Riese Classified, he showed that within doing the Easter egg. And I'll try and get my buddy Noel, once we get up to the Black Ops 3 part of our his first time playing zombies. If we get to that part and we do all the maps, including the Chronicle maps, and if you guys want us to do custom maps, that's one thing we'll do, and we'll go through the Easter egg, because the Der Riese Classified custom map Easter egg is pretty fucking cool, and it goes over the Der Riese massacre. I would really love the original World at War zombie storyline to be retold, and that's kind of what my video idea for Vanguard Zombies round-based zombie maps is going to be about. I'm just gonna go ahead. I know this is sacrilege. I know a lot of people love Kino der Toten. But I'm putting Kino der Toten at A. No particular any reason. There's no reason behind that, actually. Actually, it should be an S, because it has a lot more to offer than the World at War maps. But I'm keeping it at A, because I just don't want to put every map at S. Because if I did that, pretty much all of the older zombie maps would be S, in my opinion. So Kino der Toten is going at A. It's a very fun map, a really great map. It's got a lot of history within the zombies community, especially with Tom Syndicate, him hitting round 115 on this map multiple times, streaming it, recording it, other YouTubers following him soon after. Even now, I think people still try and break. I don't even know what the world record is for high rounds on Kino der Toten, but I'm going to assume it's above 115. I know I just watched recently, Mr. T Lexify actually was doing the challenge. He was trying to get past 115, I think. Or he'd said something along the lines of going to do it. I don't remember. But, yeah, Kino has a lot of history within the zombies community, specifically for a lot of people trying to hit high rounds, and Tom Syndicate hitting. I clearly know his last name isn't Syndicate, but I'm just prefacing that because if I just say Syndicate, some people might not know what I'm talking about. But especially with Syndicate hitting, doing multiple videos and streams of him hitting 115 on Kino der Toten, especially with the Chronicle maps. When the Chronicle maps came out, that was a huge type of thing. But yeah, Kino de Toten does have a special place in my heart. I know why isn't it S tier? It's A tier. I can't really hit it with the S tier. But there will be some maps in here you'll be like, really? You put that at S tier, but not Kino de Toten. The Thunder Gun, probably one of my favorite Wonder weapons, let's be honest, next to the Wunderwaffe. But the Thunder Gun, just the way the map is, just like the nostalgic of Kino de Toten is really, the map's just great. But it's not S tier great in my opinion. And 5 is one of the maps to where if you have a friend who's never played COD Zombies, make him or her play 5 and have them experience how hard a Zombies map can be. And then go, you know, put them on Kino and let them enjoy themselves. Now, I know there are some people in the comment section probably like, oh, 5 isn't that hard, but generally speaking, 5 is harder than every other Black Ops 1 map. You could argue Moon is harder, but 5 is pretty difficult, and I don't know why. Maybe it's probably because you have the Pentagon Thief. That's a first thing in Zombies that was introduced with a mini boss, per se, in the map running around. It's basically the equivalent of a dog round, and I think it's every 5 or 6 rounds he comes, and he just runs around the map, and you have to kill him before he steals your guns. If you kill him before you get he steals any of the players' guns in the game, you get a free perk and a max ammo. And I think you can get a free Pack-a-Punch or something. It spawns like a Pack-a-Punch icon, power up, and then you can get in there and Pack-a-Punch. But if he steals your guns, all you guys get is a max ammo. And then you lose your gun, and you have to go buy another one, and then repack it if you bought the same one. I'm gonna give 5 a C. That's where I'm gonna put it. I don't know if anyone agrees with that, but yeah, I'm gonna put 5 at C. One of my favorite Black Ops 1 maps is Ascension. Now, Ascension is just a good all-around map. It's the first location that was based in Russia. It's the first location in a Cosmodrome, and it's the first location where we fight monkeys as the dog round. And the first addition to PhD Flopper and Stand 'em Up, which are one of my favorite perks, and then Treyarch trolled us over the years of constantly not giving us PhD Flopper. The first map to bring in an Easter egg, a 4-player Easter egg. You can only play it with 4 players, and I believe this is the same map where you can do a super Easter egg. I'm not entirely sure, but it's the first map in Zombies history to bring a full-out Easter egg that players can hunt and play. Now, and this is a nostalgic map for me because I remember before I got Xbox Live, because this game came out in 2010, I believe, or 2009, one of those years. And I just remember constantly watching YouTube videos back in the day when this map released of all the YouTubers and zombie YouTubers back then playing this map, and like just wanting to play this map as a kid. I was like, oh my god, let me play this map. And then luckily my cousin actually bought, well, not him himself, but he actually was able to get the Black Ops 1 map packs in the season pass. And I remember going to his house, and the first time I played Ascension, it was incredible. Loved it. And I think my first high rounds was on this map, if I'm not mistaken. I know Kino was pretty easy to get to high rounds. I know my high rounds now on Kino de Toten is like in the 60s, but I remember my first time getting high rounds was on Ascension. When I got Xbox Live, back in 2011 when MW3 was released, I went back and played the Black Ops 1 maps, and I ended up playing with randoms, and our highest was like 55 or something. And it was incredible. Absolutely loved it. Ascension's going to S tier. I'm not really that fond of Call of the Dead, if I'm going to be honest. Now, I do like it better than the reimagined Tag der Toten, but I wasn't really all too fond of Call of the Dead. So I know this is kind of sacrilege. I don't know many people who like love Call of the Dead and would put it S tier above any of the maps currently. Um, so I'm honest. I'm gonna put it in C tier. Call of the Dead goes in the C tier. Shangri-La, I know a lot of people are gonna hate me for this. It's not going in F tier. Don't worry about it. But I don't like Shangri-La. You know what? Fuck everyone who disagrees. Shangri-La is going F tier. I don't like Shangri-La. Never liked it. And will not like it again. Last up, I'm not much of a fan for Moon either, but I like Moon way more than Shangri-La and actually 5 and Call of the Dead. So that means Moon is going in the B tier. Now, Moon's going in the B tier specifically just because the map is fun to play all together, and there's also a hidden Easter egg song from Avenged Sevenfold Again, which is their song Nightmare. I actually didn't know that up until recently when I was actually researching the maps when me and my buddy were doing the first time Zombies player playing Zombies. Again, we haven't gotten to that, so I'm looking forward to his experience of playing Moon because it's such a fun map. And they actually brought back another mini boss to where it was just an astronaut walking around, and he was a pretty tanky guy. And I can't remember if it used the name off of your friend's gamer tags or your gamer tags or just devs from Treyarch. I can't remember what the specific thing was, but it would always use names from people that you either knew or were a Treyarch developer or just filter out different names. But it was a pretty cool design. It was a pretty elaborate Easter egg as well, and I think it set up the storyline for Black Ops 2 that we would get a couple years later in 2012 or 2013, one of those years. But yeah, Moon goes in the B tier specifically because it's just a really fun map, and it's a very crazy and hard map as well, specifically in the start room when you're on Area 51. I've done a lot of challenges with my friends back in the day of who can last the longest in Area 51, and it was pretty fun, and it was always really great when the first perk that would spawn in there would be Juggernaut, so you would immediately just save up the 2,500 points and buy Juggernaut right off the bat. And it was always funny watching my friends for the first time play this map, and they didn't realize that you actually had to go up and get the PES system or the suit that so you wouldn't die from not breathing. And it was always funny for their first time and going on the teleporter, spawning in, and then they just die immediately because they don't know to grab the suit, even though it obviously says grab the PES system. It was always pretty funny. This map was very nostalgic. Let's be honest, every map from Black Ops 2 below is very nostalgic to play, and us Zombies community and fans want this type of feeling back. We want another, World at War, Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 type of maps. But let's be honest, I don't think we're ever going to get that. Hopefully Treyarch in 2024 can give us another good year.